Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Let's continue with Master Shenhua's teachings. I think it's a new section, right?
可是你要也要没有指招，要有所指招了，就不会太妙。
Or no. However, you must have no attachments. If you have attachments, it will not be so wondrous.
总而言之，调一切法，要破执，把你这个我执、法执都要破。
In short, in learning all the dharmas, you must break attachment. You must break both your attachment to self and your attachment to dharmas. All of it must be broken.
念佛呢，也应该破执，把这个执招破除了。
In reciting the Buddha's name, you should also break attachment. Take this attachment, break and eliminate it.
那么你不但你要能破除执招不单是往生那时候极乐，就是现在没往生也一样极乐。
So you are not only, if you can break and eliminate attachments, not only at the time of rebirth is there ultimate bliss. Even now, without having attained rebirth, it is the same ultimate bliss.
你没有忧愁，没有忧愁，你不是极乐是什么？
Because you have no sorrow. Without sorrow, what could it be if not ultimate bliss? 他们人做不到这个不忧愁。不能到这种极乐世界的境界。We people cannot manage this being without sorrow. We are not able to reach this state of being in the land of ultimate bliss.
就因为贪心没有把它止了，没停止。
It's just because we haven't stopped our mind of greed. We have not stopped it.
嗔心也没有把它化。
Our mind of anger has also not been transformed. 痴心也没有把它变过来。 Our mind of stupidity has also not been transformed.
这个贪嗔痴一天比一天重。
This greed, anger, and stupidity of ours becomes heavier day by day.
这个戒定慧一天比一天轻。
This precepts, samadhi, and wisdom of ours becomes lighter day by day.
口说持戒，心身就犯戒。
The mouth says, uphold precepts. Then the mind and body break them.
Okay, we stop here. Thank you. And the next section would be about precepts 22. Okay. Do you realize how wonderful it is to be able to listen to his voice? That's how I feel personally. As I always regretted in my entire life is that I never could learn from him directly. I had to only learn from him indirectly through these tapes, through these books, through these translations, and so forth. So it's a real privilege, let me tell you personally, to be given the chance to be here with you and to listen to this. And I know I'm not the only one. There are many here who are also very, very grateful to be able to listen to the great master's instructions. So I want you to be more cognizant of that. And that is real luxury to be able to come to a place to listen to the great master's instructions. All right? This is something we should be grateful to his students who made it happen, so we should be reflecting in our attitude. Okay, if he were here, if we were to listen to him live in person, how would you feel? Okay, this is something that was never explained to me when I was at the temples. Every night at the drudgery, we listened to him every single night. After evening ceremony until 9:30, 9 o'clock or so, so an hour and a half. And it became like it's something we must do. And it never was instilled in me personally. That is a gift. It's a privilege. It is the chance to be able to listen to his voice and listen to his instructions. His instructions are, let me tell you, they're wonderful. I really am so grateful for these instructions because you all know that I was never really formally taught by him to how to train people, how to teach people. So for me, this is how it seems to be the nature of our relationship. It seems like he teaches his people, and I'm on the side watching him. That seems to be the nature of our relationship. He never really taught me directly, maybe 5 times, so all I could remember. But to be able to see this here, to get the transcription and all the support staff here, all the materials here, I'm just so happy. I'm just so grateful. It's something I really look forward to. Like for example, tonight, this section here, it is so wondrous. It's so wonderful because I heard it before along the same line. I couldn't understand it. So I struggle a lot on my path to try to figure out what to do, how to overcome my obstructions. And now I come back and listen to this, I say, wow, this is exactly what we've been teaching you in a different way. In a way that I understood what I had to do myself personally. Not the same way he taught, but what he's teaching here is the right stuff, the foundation of what cultivation is in Mahayana. So cherish it while you still can, because a lot of beings are. Okay? And so concentrate. Forget about everything. Drop it. And listen. Because if you do that, these seeds are wonderful, and treat this as a priceless gift He's giving all of us, myself included. All right, so this is the standard Chinese teachings. This is, he says, it's not him, but I read this in other places as well. This is what all the great Chinese masters taught. He says, in this, the context is that he's been talking about the Shrangama mantra, how powerful the mantra is, and how incredibly useful it is for us to practice it. Okay, it's a gift right there for us to be taught that knowledge is priceless. He would not mislead us. If you want to learn mantras at all, for example, and you know the Shranga mantra is the most powerful one, why would you want to learn anything else? Why would you want to practice anything else? And then we also learn about second most powerful one, which is Great Compassion Mantra. Why would you want to learn anything else? All right, so in the context of practicing mantras, he says you must have no attachments, because if you have attachments, you will not, the mantra will not be so wondrous, meaning that it's not as effective when you recite it. It's so fundamental. Think about it. If you've been reciting mantras, whether you learn a mantra from the Tibetans, from the Japanese, from even the non-Buddhist mantras, the reason they're not that effective for you because you still have attachments. It's a blanket statement for the secret school practice. That's number one. Ask yourself, okay? Number two, you also, this is so important for you as a standard. You say, if the teacher who teaches me still has attachments, then he does not wield the complete power of the mantras. See that? This is why I'm telling you, when he was alive, his mantra recitation was so efficacious because he has no attachments whatsoever. Okay, so this is very, very important part of your knowledge for you to know how to cultivate and for you to recognize who you should learn from. All right? But the way we practice, the way we train you is slightly different, because I train all of you for the last 20 years by using what I had to do to break through, okay? Because I listen to this, the principles are correct, okay, are irrefutable, but there's a lot of details there that the Chinese patriarchs did not teach us. Okay? In short, in learning all the dharmas, you see, it's not just tantras. You must break attachment. You must break both your attachment to self and attachment to dharmas. Okay? This is the progression in your practice. If you walk the spiritual path of Mahayana, you will eventually be able to break the attachment to the self, meaning that you have no self. And after that, you still need to break the attachment to dharmas. Okay? All of it must be broken. What does it mean? For the Hinayana practitioners, meaning those people who wear orange, okay, and in Southeast Asia, there's lots of such sects in Buddhism, okay? They're able to break attachment to the self, like many of you have been able to. So many of you now have been able to break through the attachment to the self. Okay, that's wonderful. But don't stop there. You have to continue. If you are not there yet, broken through the attachment to the self, you're not that. You're in the right direction. You're in the vicinity. Okay, and after that, after you break through the attachment to the self, you also need the attachment to dharmas. This is something that the Hinayana practitioners don't have. You know how big of a deal this is? Because most of my teachers, disciples, meaning my peers, my generation, they could not break through the attachment to the self. Okay? And so many of you now have been with me for a long time. So many of you have broken through the attachment to the self. It's quite remarkable. Okay? But after that, there is the Hinayana practitioners had this subtle attachment left. Once you've broken through the attachment to the self, okay, then you sort of know that you've broken through, that you're so detached from so many things. Okay? For example, you're so more detached from your sexual desires. Okay? For example, before you have a lot more desires, but after you've broken through, you have fewer. And if the desire arises, you're able to squash it yourself. Okay? No one told me that. That's why there's a lot of misconceptions in Buddhism. Okay, for example, all my peers read about this, okay? But when they interpret it wrong because they are not broken through. That's why they don't understand. You know? Okay? You cannot read. You cannot just read explanations, read from the books and think you understand. You have to do it yourself, and then you see, that's what it really means. Is that clear? All right? So there's a lot of subtleties here. But the teaching is so pervasive, is so universal. This is correct. This is the Buddhist wisdom. All right? But once you are able to break through the attachment to the self, it feels wonderful, okay? But you still have an attachment to dharmas. What is he talking about? When you've broken through the attachment to the self, you're aware of that. You're aware that you're free from this thing called ego. You're aware of that. And your wisdom is unfolding. You said, I'm free from my ego. So before I wanted to have a red car so much. After I broken through, he said, well, I don't know. It doesn't sound exciting anymore. You know what I mean? So those losers, they keep on talking about red car, red car, red cars. Don't believe them. Okay, they have not broken through. You got that? So it helps you discern who has wisdom, who doesn't. Number one. Okay? But for these people who have broken through, then they realize, wow, before the red car is so desirable. Now, well, it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal anymore. Okay? Okay, that's wisdom. You see that? And when you have that, you realize, oh, I can let go of my desires. Okay? That's freedom. Before, I had to have a red car to be happy. Now, I don't have to anymore. I'm still happy. And actually, I'm happier. Isn't it interesting? So that's why he said, I don't need to be attached to this. I don't need to be attached to temples. I don't need to be attached to disciples. I don't need to be attached to boys, girls. You see? And because of that, okay, you have the superior knowledge. You say, I can let go. Okay? Okay? Because it doesn't matter. This is a very subtle distinction. When you're there, you know, if you're there, you know what I'm talking about. And that is an attachment in itself. Am I making sense to you? You know that the red car is not a big deal anymore. You know boys are not a big deal anymore. Girls are not a big deal anymore. You're free. And that knowledge there is called attachment to Dharma. So the Hinayana practitioners, some of my peers got to this level and they say, I'm so free. I'm going to close myself behind the four walls because I'm not attached to anything. I don't need your money. I don't need your adoration. I need nothing. I'm happier. I'm so happy that way. And they protect themselves from you. They say, I don't need you. You can't tempt me. I don't need nothing at all from you. And that's called attachment to the Dharma. See that? Unless a teacher teaches you, points it out to you, it's so easy for you to be tripped by this. So the training goes on and on and on. If you didn't, you'd be like my peers, stuck behind four walls and the safety of their attachment, that non-self. Is that clear? This will happen to a lot of people who cultivate in this Dharma ending age. So many of them have this problem. So few are able to break through that attachment to that knowledge. That's attachment to the Dharma right there. Yeah. I can free myself. I don't need to be afflicted anymore. Okay? I'm so happy. And the sad truth is that when you cultivate this in this Dharma ending age, very few people can break through the attachment to the self, and so many more would be able to break through to the attachment to the Dharma. It's such a big deal. Trust me, it's very, very difficult to break through the next level of attachment to Dharmas. It takes a long, long time. It takes a lot of work. The way they do it. And you see how important it is? Because it's not just for you, because it's for every single person who wants to cultivate. Okay? We all have to go through these stages, these milestones. And it's so subtle that unless someone points it out to you, it's very difficult for you to see it. Case in point, okay? My peers, they're still stuck in the safety of the four walls. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. I recently watched the news on the YouTube. The 19 monks, monks of the pilgrimage, they walked the 4 Ps through from Texas to the Washington D.C. to promote peace and unity and compassion. I watching their journey. So they stop by the small town or big city. All people come out to greet the monks. Some small town, they never seen the monks, Buddhist monks, but they very open-minded. They really happy to see them. They encourage them. Also, they offer the flower to the monks and offer the water. I think the monks give us some planting seed for them. They can give the offer to the monk. So isn't it very good practice? This is the Mahayana practice, kind of? Also, I have a question, maybe if you have more disciples, they're like monks, disciples, if you recommend that kind of practice?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's commendable that many monks are able to do that. It's not easy to do, by the way. It's very, very difficult for you to be walking on the road like that. It's going through different domains where what you don't realize is that physically you think it's just a highway or a street. Actually, it's domains being ruled or run by certain leaders. It's no different if you walk into a certain neighborhood, you are encroaching on someone's territory. Okay, on a big scale, for example, you go south here, another 2 hours, you run to Mexico. Okay? And you go into the ocean, now you run into the dragons' domains, and so forth. So we are being partitioned into different zones of influence. So for them to be able to walk, okay, long distances like that, they have to traverse a lot of different territories and domains. It's not an easy thing to do, okay? And think about the sun issues, the weather issues. It rains and the wind blows, and sometimes you go through fires or earthquakes and so forth. It's rather dangerous. For them to be able to pull it off, It's remarkable. It's very commendable. And so it's a hard thing to do, number one. Number two, for them to be able to tie that with some sort of ideal that I do this to pray for peace. So it raises awareness. It's a good thing to do. It's not easy, it's a good thing to do. And it creates a lot of blessings for them. In Hinayana, that is a practice called Xingjiao, where you walk and walk and walk. Okay? I used to do that when I went to Taiwan. We walk and walk and walk. Okay? And so the whole temple, basically the entire temple, we walked. And there's a support group who takes care of lunch, okay, and so forth. And they make arrangements to find a place where you could stay overnight. Okay, so it's very, very involved process. It's not as simple as it sounds. But traditionally, there's no such thing. We just walk, get out of the temple, and we walk and walk and walk. That's what used to be the case in the old times. Nowadays, it's more complicated. Okay, you need to make arrangements and so forth. In the old days, you can walk, and then when it's time for you to eat, you go to a village, and then you go for alms bowls rounds, and then you come back and you eat, and you continue. Now it's a lot more involved, but it's still very remarkable. Okay, it's a good thing to do. Yes. In our little world, Master Shenhua's disciples, the four of them who did it twice, they do a pilgrimage from the one I remember, that couple ones is, I think one they went from Portland, Oregon to California, and the second one more famous is from Los Angeles to the city of 10,000 Buddhas. Okay, not much is recorded about the first pilgrimage. Okay, I think those people left. They both left the home life. They returned to lay life. Second group, there's two of them, and one is still a monk. He's a senior monk now. And the other had returned to lay life, but he's still around, okay? And so there's such a practice in Mahayana as well, and Master Shenhua allowed it to happen. And I read the journals of those people, and they went through a lot. And actually, Master Shenhua was protecting them along the way. It's very, very dangerous. They had to go through fires, that get to go through storms, and so forth. Okay, some areas people were very aggressive. They threw rocks at them, and if they hit their head, they could get seriously hurt. Okay, and this intervention stopped. The rock threw at them and stopped. Could not break through. Okay? And so we have similar practices. It's also under the guise of praying for world peace. Okay? It's a good thing to do. And actually, that guy even asked me when I was a novice to do it with him again in Vietnam, to pray for peace in Vietnam. I said, no, I don't like bowing. Sorry, not me. But he asked me, he said, I did that, and this is a wonderful thing. I think I'd like to do it again with you in Vietnam. Maybe go up in North Vietnam. And my first very immediate reaction is, no, I'm not interested. So I turned him down. It's a good thing, because I wouldn't be able to do my job. I was too afflicted. Yes, 5.
Master, just curious, when you were listening to the Master Shenhua tapes, At the City of 10,000 Buddhas, did you ever discuss the tapes and pause and discuss with the Dharma brothers?
No. Back then, what we did is we played his tape, and then when they reach a certain section, they stop, and then they would translate into English. It's a real wonderful thing. Couldn't understand Chinese at all. And so we listened to the translation, and then after the translation, they continue. And at the end, they have like 5 minutes of questions and answers, and half of which is translation as well. And so what happened is the younger monks and nuns could not answer the questions, so we sort of stopped, not even have a Q&A. And when the senior monks come to these events, they also only allowed 5 minutes, okay? And we're so conditioned that we didn't bother asking any question because there's no answers at all. No one gave us answers at all, okay? But we are still very grateful, very respectful to be able to listen to Master Hsuan-Hua's teachings. And that is one of the treats for me when I was there. It's the best thing for me, really, to be able to listen to it every single day. An hour and a half, every single day. And I didn't realize how wonderful it was. Okay? As it turns out, at the time, for 4.5 years, I was very afflicted, very unhappy, very unimpressed. It calmed me down for an hour and a half every day. I didn't realize it. For an hour and a half, I got relief. Okay. Yes. 6.
A Di Đà Phật, con muốn chia sẻ cho ở đây, con có đi bộ qua với ba vị thầy ở Sâm Hoan đi tới lót này đi bộ. Mà mình đi bộ là cũng nguy hiểm lắm. Thì trước khi người ta phát tâm đi cầu thế giới hòa bình đó, thì không biết năm bao nhiêu, cũng lâu lắm, 20 mấy năm rồi. Cái người ta hăm dọa, miễn mà ông sư này đó có đi đó thì người ta muốn giống giết ổng vậy đó, biết không? Ổng là người bên Úc, ổng phát tâm qua đây, ổng đi bộ. Tại ổng có quen biết ở Hollywood những người diễn viên đó. Thì tụi con thì theo ông này đi thì người ta hăm dọa dữ lắm. Nó đi rồi đó, mấy người đó muốn giết cái ông sư này. Tại tự nhiên mà ở bên nước người ta mà qua bên này vậy đó. Xong thì con có phát tùng đi với thầy này đi khoảng 1 tháng. Mà ngộ lắm ha, mình đi bộ đó, đi tháng 11 này nè, nó lạnh kêu bằng không cỡ nào luôn. Rồi mình đi cái đường 101 đó, đường 101 là cái đường đó là nó freeway 101 nó đi theo cái đường đó. Mà kỳ lắm mà đi đó, con cũng giái hòa thượng tiên hóa dữ lắm. Con cũng sợ lắm, đi nghe ta hăm dọa vậy đó. Lại ngồi trốn gia đình đi mà không có ai biết. Cái trên ngồi đi 1 tháng nó không có ai biết, gia đình ngồi không biết. Mà báo nó đăng ra cái mình giấu ông xã mình. Cái báo nó đăng ra cái đưa cho ông xã ngồi coi có hình mình ở trỏng. Ông về ông la quá chừng. Cười quá. Rồi cái mình đi bộ như vậy đó ha, có Long Thần hộ pháp đó, chứ không phải là không có chuyện chơi đâu. Đi 1 tháng vậy nó không bao giờ lạnh đó. Đi trong cái đường 101 đó, nó ấm lắm, không có lạnh, không có gì hết trơn đó. Mô Phật.
Amitabha Master, I would like to share that once I walked on foot with the 3 venerable monks from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Walking like that was very dangerous. It was like before I make a vow, so I walked was like 20 years ago, and then people threatened them that saying that if they went, they would have been killed. people would kill him. So the monk was from Australia. So after making that vow, I think the monk has a connection with the Hollywood people. So then all of a sudden, he's from Australia and come to this country and wanted to do a long walk like that. So then I myself also tag along and walk with them for like about a month. So it was during November, and it was on Freeway 101, and very strange in this. So before I walk with them, I also pray to Master Xuanhua a lot, and I actually sneak out of my family and did not let them know that I was doing such pilgrimage. And so then nobody knows. However, there's newspaper, they taking picture, and then somehow they handed it to my husband. And my husband recognized me right there, and then he yelled at me a lot. So going in such event must have a lot of spirit and dragon protectors, because walking for like a month on that Freeway 101, I've never felt cold at all.
Yeah, it's so impressive that you were able to do it for 1 month. It's a big undertaking. There's a lot of invisible beings who have to come out and support you. That's for sure. However, I'm just curious. You can get away from your husband for a month and he doesn't know?
Biết. Mà hồi đó giống gia đình tôi đó, thì ổng làm tôi làm, là làm hai người đó không có gì. Tôi làm cái chuyện của tôi thì ổng cũng không có lo, ổng cũng không có khe, rồi ổng làm cái gì tôi cũng không có khắt khe ổng cái gì. Mô Phật. Bởi vì tôi hồi đó chồng tôi đó tôi cũng tự do lắm, chứ không có chồng tôi không có giống làm khó làm dễ trong cuộc đời tôi vậy. Mô Phật.
Oh, Master, so back in the day, my family, whatever I doing, my undertaking is my business, and whatever he did is his, so we don't actually particularly care about what we've been doing. So then my husband and I are very freedom in that way. We don't give a hard time to each other.
I think it's what we call open marriage nowadays.
Mô Phật, con hồi đó thầy ở chùa của sư cô đó, con ngồi thiền ở trên thầy hồi đó dạy thiền bằng đầu đó, con đi 1 tháng, gia đình con cũng không có biết nữa, con không có biết con đi đâu, gia đình con, cha mẹ, anh em tôi cũng không biết tôi đi đâu nữa. Tôi nói tôi đi 1 tháng, nói vậy thôi à, đi cái mấy người đó cũng, tôi nói tôi đi chùa thôi, mà tôi ở trên sư cô Hằng Lượng 1 tháng mà không có ai biết tôi ở trỏng hết trơn. Mô Phật.
Amitabha, Master, back in the day, I also stay at Venerable Bhikshuni's, meditate there. So when you first came to the temple, first I also spent a month away from my family to learn meditation from you. And so all of people, my family, my mom and dad, and my brother and sister doesn't know what I'm doing. So I would just tell them that I'm going away for like a month. So I've just briefly say I'm going to the temple, and then Venerable Heng Liang back then, so nobody knows what I've been doing for like a month.
I remember that. I remember the first time you came to the Chanchi at Lu Mountain Temple. I still remember. Okay, she and I are the same generation. She's a Guo. I'm also a Guo. Okay, so we are both disciples of Master Xuanhua, same generation. And so when I first came to Lu Mountain Temple, she was only interested in cooking. So she was taking care of the kitchen. She organized the kitchen, took care of the kitchen. And it's after about 1.5 years of cooking for me, she decided she would not cultivate. she decided to cultivate, and she decided to learn how to meditate. I think it's the first time she really meditated. Okay, and she would come to the temple, stay there, and sleep overnight there as well, sleep in the Buddha hall and so forth. And this woman is hardcore. And after she practiced, she reached. She made vast improvements in that 1 month. So the point here is that she really created a lot of blessings. That's how she was able to cultivate. Okay. Yes, 5.
There's 2 YouTube questions. So the first one's from Diego Alfonso. Amitabha Master, the state of no others, no self, no living beings, and no lifespan is the same as emptying the 5 skandhas? Thank you, Master.
No, it's different. Okay, it's much higher.
And the next question is Samson from Samson Lau. I also came, it's a Mitaphor Master, I also came across this story and read that at the beginning of their journey, one of the monks got hit by a truck and had his leg amputated. Is this an example of getting into trouble by entering the domain of other beings?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's rather dangerous, rather involved. It's not a casual thing at all. Okay, listen, when we declare to people, to the world, that you're doing this for pilgrimage, for peace, okay, everyone knows, everyone watches you, including your enemies. So they would love to get you into trouble and make you look bad, meaning that your cause now, your claims are sort of like diminished greatly if you get in trouble. Okay, which means that, for example, when Master Shenhua disciples did these pilgrimages, Master Shenhua had to protect them. Okay, so it shows there that in the particular case, the protection was not enough. It's not simply enough. There's also other problems I don't want to tell you. Okay, it's quite involved. It's a lot more work than you realize, and it's good. I can see why Master Shenhua allowed his disciples to do that. Okay, number one, because it's good to raise awareness of the Buddhist practice. There's such a thing in Buddhism when we do that. Okay, and it's appealing to people who don't know Buddhism to hear that we actually do things to pray for world peace and help the world. So it's a good publicity for Buddhism, which is okay for Master Shenhua, great for him, because he's trying to raise awareness about Mahayana. So it's consistent with his goals. Okay, so it's very good in that sense. So these people helped him a lot. Help raise awareness, not only amongst the Chinese community, but also all sorts of different ethnicity as well, especially Asian communities and non-Asian communities. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So these people who did that created a lot of blessings for themselves. So his disciples create a lot of blessings with him because it helped raise awareness for his Dharma. Okay, his Mahayana Dharma. So it's wonderful. So that's a reason. Number one, is a very good thing to do. Number two is that these people, I feel, are not this. For example, Chan is not their specialty. I look at them and say, oh, if you practice Chan properly, you would produce much bigger results much faster. Chan is much more powerful practice. Bowing is a lower form of Chan, Okay? For example, you practice Chan, and your legs hurt too much, and you're too tired and too sleepy. Get up and bow. That's Chan too. Get up and fight. Don't fall asleep. Okay? Cultivation is about struggling. It's not supposed to be easy for you. If it's easy, then you're not working hard enough. Cultivation is a struggle. So when I see you struggle, or the Chinese call it suffering, I think. I don't dare call it suffering because you Caucasian would run away from us, okay? But the struggle there is a sign that you're cultivating and you have a chance to break through. Okay, that woman there, when she first practiced Chan with me at Lu Mountain Temple, she did not ask for instruction. She knew what to do. And what did she do? She sat in half lotus for the entire month, and she made big, giant strides forward. Before, she's just, big mouth. But after that, she became so much better, so much better. I'm still surprised that she's still married to that guy. Okay, so point number 2 being that it also tells me that these people, for some people like them, they can only bow, they cannot meditate. Because there's some people who can meditate, I would not allow them to do that. Okay? Too slow for me. Okay? In fact, I was even considering allowing one of my disciples to do that pilgrimage as well, because I know he can't really meditate. But it didn't quite pan out. So it's a good thing to do, by the way. It's a good thing to do. This is an illustration that Chan has many ways of training, many ways of practices. Bowing pilgrimage is one form of Chan as well. Okay? We have many, many forms. And again, as I'm reminding you, you're working here and you're practicing at our way places and you're struggling, okay, you're falling asleep, you are tired and so forth. Get up, keep fighting, and bow. All right? It's very good for you. Yes, JC.
안녕하세요, 마스터. 저는 여기 온 지 지금 3개월이 돼가고 있는데 제가 모르는 게 너무 많고 한데 하나 여쭙고 싶은 건 저희 아빠가 이제 조금 많이 쇠약해지시는 것 같아요, 건강이. 그래서 마음이 좀 많이 아픈데 혹시 약사 위패를 하면 조금 더 건강해질 수 있는지가 궁금합니다.
Hello, Master. It's been 3 months that I came here. I still don't know a lot of things, but I have a question. My dad has become physically very weak, so it hurts my heart a lot. Will it help his physical health if I request for MMB?
Absolutely. You should get him an MMB. It's going to relieve, I will tell you this. The suffering has 2 forms, 2 levels. One is physical, and one is mental. What people don't realize is that the suffering is the one part is your body suffers. Okay, it's in pain. Okay, what people don't realize, especially for older people, is that there's also mental anguish. That they said, why is it happening to me? I used to have no such problems. My body is in pain now, I can't function anymore. It's a lot of mental anguish. They get depressed, by the way. Okay, so the mental anguish there is not something that medication or counseling or anything can help. Okay, and that precipitates your decay, your body decay. Be careful, folks. As you get older, and you have to be careful with mental anguish. Your body will fail, that's natural, okay? But there's no need to get anguished about it. Why shouldn't you be anguished? Because you know it's a temporary phase in your life and you have a good ending awaiting for you. Because after you pass, okay, we'll try our best to help you go to Pureland immediately, as soon as possible. So there's no need to be anguished, okay? And don't fall for that, okay? So, but ordinary people, they don't have that luxury. What you don't realize that everyone goes through this process of mental anguish. All right? That's why most people will fall for that reason. So if I were her, I'm very sorry that's happening to her dad, okay? I would do two things for him. Number one, get him a pre-49 days so that he goes to the Pureland. So you know that he'll be taken care of quickly, more quickly, by getting a pre-49. You get a regular 49, it takes longer. You get a pre-49, he can go to Pureland a lot faster. This is American Pureland now. They don't have it in Asia. The traditional Asian Pureland Dharma, they don't have it. Okay? Why not? Because they're afraid. People, when we first introduced it, our Asian disciples said, so does it mean would this speed up my death? I said, probably, but don't worry about it. I'm kidding, of course. And so get a pre-49 day for him to make sure he goes to the Pureland, so he'll have a good ending. And number two, I would get a 1-year MMB for him as well to help him with his physical and mental pain. Okay, that's what I would do. And this is, by the way, this is one of the best things possible you can do for your loved ones. Okay, you don't realize how the body may be in pain, but the mind is more at peace. Okay, somehow, for some reason, it's magical. This is what we observed the last 20 years. Okay, so that's our formula. All right. All right. Don't worry. That if you can do that, and then your dad will be taken care of. He has something to look forward to. Should have no more fears. Should have no more fears yourself, and then the medicine master blessings will relieve him with a lot of pain and physical and in particular mental. Okay, a lot of people go through this mental pain, mental anguish, mental suffering, depression, and they cannot express it to others. Especially when you get older, then you understand what I'm talking about. You know, you feel useless, you feel a burden, you feel all those things on top of your being sick. Okay, so many reasons to feel bad about yourself, about your conditions. Okay, and that's what will make you fall, by the way. Okay, next slide. In reciting Buddha's name, same thing, you break attachment, break and eliminate it. You see, that's why he's talking before, the slide before is Chan meditation. You see, Pureland also you need to break attachments as well. You see? So that's why I always maintain to you, Chan and Pureland are the same. Okay, just should be practiced in parallel. And And then he further explains more. He says, if you're able to break and eliminate attachments, then he says, you don't need to wait until you're dead to experience the ultimate bliss. Okay? Even before you are born to the land of ultimate bliss, you can experience the bliss already. And this is a little bit off. Okay? I would not go this way because it's misleading to me. Okay? For him, it's okay to speak like this because I think he did it on purpose for his students back then and work for his students. But it's a lot of work to do this, and I would not do this. Okay, so we have different styles. Okay, so he explains more. So he says, if you do that, I will help you. But he's not saying that. He helped these people. Okay, but the help them is personal. You cannot use his help for one person to generalize into a statement here, a blanket statement here. It says you can experience the land of ultimate bliss here. It's not clean to me. Okay, he says why? Why? Because if you have no sorrow, then it's ultimate bliss. You experience the ultimate bliss. You see, it's a stretch, if you ask me. It's too much of a stretch. Because the land of ultimate bliss is wonderful, let me tell you. If you're old and you're suffering, you're in pain, okay, there's no way for you to experience the land of ultimate bliss. If you're young and you still have so many afflictions, it's not possible for you to experience the bliss over there. It's impossible, let me tell you. Nothing here compares with it. So for me, his statement here is a stretch. I disagree with him respectfully. I would not go this far. Okay, that's misleading to me. It's an oversell. Yes, JC.
Amitabha Master, my question is, when I recite mantras, especially Medicine Master Buddha mantra, I usually have something in mind that such as my dad's health become better, and recently, as you know, that my son had a small tumor in his stomach. We accidentally found it. Mm-hmm. So I recite when I recite Medicine Master mantra, I have that hopeful mind that the Medicine Master Buddha would help my brother, my son, or my dad. But I should. So I realized that I have been doing wrong all the time because I shouldn't have attachment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when I recite mantra, should I just concentrate on the sounds without thinking? Is that what I should do?
Okay. Good question. It's a very good question. You should ask these types of questions that things are not clear to you. I see a lot of things are unclear. For example, we talked about ultimate bliss here. The Master Cheryl talked about it. I know that I totally disagree. I would not go this far, okay? Because I know things. For example, I know when you're born in the land of ultimate bliss, what happens to you? The people who made it there, okay? The bliss they experience nowhere. It's so much better than any of you have been able to experience here. So it's not possible for you to experience it here. Okay? You have to go there. Otherwise, what's the point in having an ultimate bliss? Okay? So it's misleading to talk like that. That's why I draw the line. I don't do that. Okay? I respectfully disagree. And I know I will get in trouble with a lot of his disciples and so forth. I don't care. Okay? This is my session. I'm going to tell you what I think. All right? And as far as the teaching here, for example, Mina asked a question about, when I recite this mantra here, because I recite because what compels me is that I want to help my dad, I want to help my son. Okay? And now she realized it's an attachment. It's not the way it sounds, you see? That's what it says, but it's not the case. Let me explain to you the process. Why do you recite mantras in the first place? Because you have a goal, you have a desire, right? He says, I want to recite this medicine master mantra or the Buddha's name because, let's say, I want to become enlightened, want to help someone, okay? That is the driving force. There's nothing wrong with it. If you didn't have the drive, the desire to do it, then you wouldn't be doing it. So how can we tell you that you should not even have an attachment to helping your son? If you don't have an attachment to help your son, then why would you continue to recite? So are we teaching you to fool yourself? You see the subtlety? You read this, and you think that, I should have no attachment whatsoever, including attaching to helping my son. If you're not attached to that, you would not be cultivating, you'd not be reciting at all. You see, it sounds like you should have, the prior slide says you should have no attachment at all, okay? But it's not the way it sounds, because, let me explain specifically, in her case, okay, there's nothing wrong with saying, this is what compels me to recite, okay? Because that's how I believed I can help my son, my dad, or someone, okay? First of all, first point of distinction, don't try to help others. There's an exception, you need to help your family, members, like your son, your dad, your mother, it's okay. But don't try to help your neighbor, okay? For example, don't try to help a stranger. Don't do that, because you cannot handle the consequences. Okay? You do that, don't expect me to cover for you. So there's nothing wrong with say, I know this mantra here and I want to do something, and this is what I feel I'm able to afford to do, then you recite the mantra. So where there is this, when you recite this mantra, what about attachment? Okay, let me teach you, okay? There's nothing wrong with reciting the mantra because you want to help your son, okay? However, the attachment he's talking about, for example, is when you recite the mantra, you said, I want to see results. That's an attachment. You need to be careful not to allow. Okay? And that's what, you see, it's so subtle. You say, I want to help my son, but is this working? Is it really, really working? Okay? That's an attachment right there. Because of that attachment, you lose effectiveness in your recitation. And most people, you don't realize it. If you were to recite, I said, so what you do is say, I want to recite because I want to help. Okay? And that's it. And you recite. You strike one thought. Very clear. This is the Dharma here. This is why the Chinese, the way they explain it, is not clear. I'm waiting for you to ask me before I explain it to you. Okay? So you asking questions is helping a lot of people not only yourself, a lot of others people here, as well as other people who will be listening to this in the future. The Dharma is that you said, I want to help. Okay? That's perfectly legitimate. Be careful again. Do not help indiscriminately. You cannot handle it. You cannot handle the consequences. Okay? Helping someone comes at a price. It's never free. Okay? You have to take on the burden, number one. So you start with a thought, I want to help, and you recite. That's it. Avoid looking into, does it work? How much longer? Those are attachments that Master Hsuan talked about. Am I making myself clear? And this is what happened to the externalists. They learn these mantras, they learn these dharmas, and they have a little bit of skills. Not that much, but a little bit of skills. Okay? So they recite, and then what they don't realize is that these non-Buddhist practitioners, they recite and say, I'm producing results. Yeah, you have a little, but they don't realize because they say, look at that, I'm actually helping. And that's what limits the effectiveness right away. And they stuck on that the rest of their cultivation until they die. So they get a little bit of skills, and they stuck there the rest of their lives. And they stuck. They get nowhere anymore. So that happened not just the non-Buddhists, also the Hinayana people. I'm not going to name anymore because I'm going to get in trouble with a lot of them. Okay? Too many of them I see, including my teachers, disciples. Because they never were taught this precisely, what it really means, what he says here. Reciting Buddha's name, learning old Dharma, you must break attachment, both self-attachment and dharmas. See? Unless we explain it for you, you think you know, but actually you don't. This is why you faster, because they'll catch you. I said, no, don't do that. Okay, yeah, that's the right way. See, if my peers, if they came to me and begged for the Dharma, I said, no thanks, I can't teach you. You're not my disciples. When you come to me, I'd say, stop it. Don't go back to your four walls. That's your prison. Your attainment is so limited because of it. You do things you don't realize you're entrapping yourself. We see it, but we can't tell you. Okay? This is why you're much faster than his, because they got stuck in these things. They think they understand, they think they learn the proper way. It's a proper Dharma, but the execution's improper. If Guyin were to listen to me 20 years ago, she'd be a lot better off right now, a lot healthier. But she says, I'm the same as you. I'm here because I like you, okay? And you're repeating what my master teaches. I like it, okay? But she never really listened to what I told her. She never said, I know this is right. Never. For 20 years, she never asked me, am I doing it right? I said, you don't ask, I don't tell. Ching.
Đâu có biết cái gì là nhiều đâu thầy. Con biết cái gì thì con nói cái nấy, hồi đó nói chuyện thô lỗ quá chừng, bây giờ mình nghĩ là mắc cỡ quá chừng thầy. Bởi vì tôi thấy thầy rất là từ bi. Bởi vì tôi Quảng Ngân đó, ở dạng Phật Thành cũng là 20 mấy năm, đi lên đi xuống thấy ở trên tu rất là gắt gao, bởi vì Quảng Ngân đâu có dám tới đâu. Dám tới trên đó. Hồi đó Quảng Ngân thấy ở trên tu thiền đó, Quảng Ngân muốn tính đi lên trên tu thiền mà nghe qua nghe lại ngon, con không dám lên trên đó ngồi thiền. Tới sau này thầy có ở dưới này cái ngồi thiền đó, để tôi phát tâm để xuống này ở đây với thầy ngồi thiền, mà tôi thấy thầy dễ quá chừng. Một Phật.
Metaphor Master, back then my words, what I say is very coarse and vulgar, but that's why Master is very kind and compassionate. I been frequent to City of 10,000 Buddhas for 20 plus years, and I've seen that they cultivate very strict, very hard, so I wouldn't dare to come. So then I heard that they've been practicing meditation, so I heard around people how they cultivate. Because of that, I would not dare to come and cultivate with them. But then when I heard that Master opened the meditation retreat, so I bring forth the mind to come and cultivate with Master, and I felt that it's much easier than them. Thank you, a metaphor.
Yeah, thank you for your input.
Cảm ơn cái ý của cô.
I was there for 4 years. I went through the traditional style of training. I told you, after 4 years, I made it to second dhyana. So yes, we work hard. We're getting nowhere. You make all the mistakes. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. And we didn't realize it. That's why. Okay. This is what's wrong with the traditional style of training. Stick to it. It's safe. Okay? But it's too slow for me. Yes, 5.
A YouTube question from Patricia and Tunes 5667. Master, are affirmations useful? For example, telling myself my mind is strong, my body is healthy, to help me overcome afflictions related to health? Thank you.
Why do you need affirmation? Just do what you're told. All right. So he says here on slide 15, because you have no sorrow. What sorrow? Is the ultimate bliss. Okay. People cannot manage this without being sorrow. It stays in being in the ultimate bliss. Again, I wouldn't go I wouldn't go here. I wouldn't go there at all. Okay. Because he has credibility, he has great wisdom, but I feel it's misleading. I don't have his credentials to be able to engage in this, to go out on a limb like this. And to me, it's not true because of facts. I see you people here, I saw them being born in Western Pureland. I said, wow, why it's called Land Ultimate Bliss. Each and every one of them. Nowhere what you have here. You can have your champagne, caviar, your red cars, and your plastic surgeries, and your girlfriend and so forth. Okay, it's nowhere near how happy they are over there. So that's why I would not go there. Okay? It's because you haven't stopped our mind of greed, just have not stopped it. And not a mind of anger, okay? Not a mind of stupidity, okay? Again, good good things to remind you. Watch out your 3 poisons: greed, anger, stupidity. The more you practice, the heavier it becomes. Okay, it's more subtle than that. It's interesting that Gu Yin says, they're so strict and it's kind of scary. Okay, that's why she didn't dare go there to practice, whereas over here it's easy, so a lot more lax. It's exactly by design, by the way. I was disenchanted, okay, that there's this aura of I'm Chan, I'm traditional things, and this is what we've been trained for centuries, generations of traditional Chan. This is what compels me to say this ain't Chinese Chan, it ain't Vietnamese Chan, it ain't Japanese Zen. This is American Chan, okay? Because, on the surface, it looks like we are a lot more lax. We don't lock up the room, don't allow you to walk in, walk out, okay, once the doors are locked, okay. By the way, that creates fire hazards as well. There's a lot of legal issues involved as well that you don't want to go there, okay. And so... we make it like easygoing, okay, to encourage you to practice. But for those of you who are serious about cultivation, okay, it's much harder than you think. 10 times harder. We're not attached to marks. I don't need to attach to marks to tell you, to prove to everyone that we have worked much harder, we're much more effective. It's you, your results. I see in you. Okay, let me explain to you for your consideration. Because it happened to me. I was there for 4 years, 4.5 years. And I was so hungry for instruction. I said, am I doing it right? Please tell me. What else do I need to do? And no one could answer me. All we taught is that sit in the corner, follow the schedule, that's it. You have a question, no answers. So for 4 years, I was hoping for some answers, asking everyone. Okay? And I went to other temples, same thing. They're so strict, they say, don't move. If you move, we beat you up. It's very traditional way. But what is the problem? The problem is that when I have an issue in my cultivation, no one explains to me how to overcome it. It's 10 times harder because you solve 10 times more problems. It's harder. You solve more problems. The more problems you solve, the harder it really is. Okay? Yes. 6.
A-di-đà Phật và Thầy. Tại vì con theo Thầy đó, ở đây thì con thích Thầy có làm cái bài vị giảng sanh. Con ao ước dữ lắm. Ngày xưa đó con giảng Phật Thành con cũng có nghe qua, ở trển cũng có làm bài vị giảng sanh, mà con tự nhiên con có một cái phiếu liền không mấy gì thích gì đó. Mà tới sau này con nghe Thầy ở dưới này Thầy có làm bài vị giảng sanh, trời ơi, con nghe làm như trúng số vậy đó. Con mừng quá chừng á. Tới sau này con mới nghe Thầy có cái con mới ở dưới này làm bài vị giảng sanh nó dễ dàng hơn, nó suôn sẻ hơn. Mô Phật.
Amitabha Master, I really like the fact that you are established the rebirth lab for us. I've been wanting to establish a rebirth lab for myself. And I've known that City of 10,000 Buddha has that system. However, I have a feeling I really don't like it. But then later on, I've heard Master establish the rebirth flag for us. When I heard that, it feels like I'm just winning a lottery. My happiness filled up my heart, and to the point that I established that, and you make it very easy and very smooth for us.
There's a reason why you feel comfortable and you believe. But I don't want to explain too much because it causes problems for others. Okay? It's only Master Shenhua understands Pureland Dhammador. I can't think of anyone else. Not his disciples, not anyone else. Okay? And when he was here, when he was alive, he helped a lot of people go to the Pureland. Not all of them, a lot of them. Many disciples fell to lower realms when he was alive, as well as, of course, after he died as well, okay? Because he has his reasons. But he was able to selectively help people go to the Pureland, and I never explained to them how and why, never taught them why and how to do it. But that's still Chinese, still traditional Chinese. I feel that it's not as effective for our generation or future generations. That's why we don't call it, we call ourselves American Pureland, which is different from his Chinese Pureland, Dhammador. Okay? Much more complete, much more powerful. Because American is, oh, never mind, that's a joke. Yes, JC.
Thank you, Master. Since I mentioned about the tumor of my son's stomach, I should tell you the result of biopsy. It turned out that it's a benign tumor of muscle. That is not the malignant one that I was worried a lot. And thank you so much for your help. And I requested for the As You Wish flag.
I see. Well, I'm glad.
Thank you so much, Master.
I think your recitation helped tremendously. That's why it happened.
Thank you so much, Master.
He's a good boy. Where are we? Are we there at the last slide or the next section? Okay, so this is the last slide I will explain to you. Precept, samadhi, wisdom, of course, become lighter and lighter day by day, and so forth. Becomes heavier. So these people, when this is how you gauge yourself when you cultivate and you find that you're more angry, you're more greedy, you're more stupid. The frequency, I mean. Okay, be very careful. We're talking about the frequency of the thoughts of greed, anger, stupidity. They occur more frequently, whereas when you practice and you're making progress, they will become less frequent. That's natural. It's a sign. That's how you gauge yourself. You're in the right direction. Because you won't be able to get rid of greed, anger, stupidity completely. That's not possible. We're here, okay? You go back and take a look at your husband, you're going to be afflicted right away. And see, oh, I love you so much. Okay? So don't tell me, I don't care who you are. But, that's what happens to us. Greed, anger, stupidity. You look at our son, oh, I love you. You're so adorable. Okay? But it will be lighter, it will be less frequent, if you will, these sort of issues. And the precepts of my wisdom will be stronger in you. All right? So you're on the right tracks, if you will. Okay, time is almost up, so we don't have enough time. You can go into the next section, so we postpone it until tomorrow night. Thank you, everyone. Keep up the good work. Thank you.